What are your thoughts here? Was there a clear winner last night?
Well, there was a winner in the sense that there was already a winner before this debate was held. Boris Johnson simply had to stay on message to win this debate with the party membership because they're the ones who are deciding this, by which I mean he had to just keep insisting that Britain was going to leave the EU on October the 31st. The only thing really that could have derailed Boris Johnson was a major mistake in this debate. He didn't make that major mistake. Jeremy Hunt, as we saw there, he really emphasized issues surrounding Boris Johnson's character and what Johnson skeptics deem Johnson's evasiveness and his untrustworthiness. Now, that might have worked if Hunt was pitching to the entire UK electorate, but of course he's pitching to Conservative Party members, which is a very different thing.
Well, let's talk a bit more about that in detail. The voting's already underway, and this represents really just a small part of the British population.
Yeah, so those who are deciding the next British Prime Minister constitute less than 1% of the British population. Now, lest we caricature them all as hardline Brexiteers, that's not completely true. I mean, there are moderate Tories there, kind of from the internationalist wing of the party, but there's also evidence that from polling that those who've joined the party in the last year or so do tend to more hardline positions, including a belief that it's worth paying the price of losing Scotland for the sake of actually making Brexit happen. So let's look maybe on full screen mode so we can see this graphic a bit better. Who are these members? This is according to Queen Mary University in London. They've done this research. 71% of them are male, 86% of them are ABC1. That means from lower middle class to upper middle class. So it's not a working class base here. And interesting figure there, 97% white and an average age of 57.
In the meantime, the opposition Labour Party seems to be hardening its position against Brexit. Let's just listen to what Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn had to say.
Tories want no deal. We will stop that. And we believe the public should have a vote to decide whether it should be no deal or remain in the EU.
OK, so for anyone looking in, is Labour now a party of remain or leave?
Labour is a party which says we will take no deal off the table and the people will have a choice in the future as to whether they remain in the European Union or they accept what would be very, very damaging no deal exit from the EU.
Labour leader there, Jeremy Corbyn. Armen, how big a change in position is that for Labour?
Well, you saw that he was asked the question, is Labour now a Remain party? And he still couldn't give a completely straight answer to that. He still couldn't say, yes, Labour is a Remain party. Maybe he'll get there depending on what happens in October, but it is still a shift because remember Corbyn used to say that he wants to try for his own Brexit deal. He wants to negotiate his own deal with Brussels, which is still Brexit. But what was that deal supposed to be? It was supposed to be staying in the customs union and alignment with the single market, as Corbyn put it. He's not talking about that anymore. So in this interview, what are the two options he set out? It's either Remain or no deal Brexit. So those are the two options that he's now looking at. But he's still stopping short of actually saying, yes, I will campaign for Remain if it came to a second referendum. So he's really inching towards this Remain stance. He's still not there, but clearly he's being pushed by his cabinet to actually back Remain unequivocally, which he's not doing at the moment. But of course, Labour has lost a lot of members to the Liberal Democrats because of this ambiguous stance. There's no question that Corbyn is still being pushed behind the scenes towards a more clear Remain stance.
Armen, thank you for that. France 24's Armen Georgian.